as she is sitting here, she looks across the way and she's like, is that? Hi everyone, it's Catchy, aka OBiGem. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell to be notified of all future videos. And if you like what you see, please do hit the like button so I know to keep making content just like this. So we are here with Miss Sienna. I think she was getting a phone call, which we clearly missed, but it's too late for that now. She's over here getting her workout on, and it is New Year's Eve. So Glade actually went back home to Evergreen Harbor, so he's not here right now. Sorry, I'm trying to get the camera just right. There we go. So he had a conversation with Sienna before he left because, you know, if you remember from last episode, he called Andre up and told him, like, look, you need to start stepping up and being a father to Zari. I don't have much time left in this world, and Zari needs a father figure, and unfortunately, you're the only father he has. So he had a conversation with Sienna. He's like, look, I called Andre, just so you know, to tell him he needs to step up. He needs to start being involved in his son's life. Zari will need someone to be there when I'm gone. And Sienna's like, I just, you know, Dad, I get it, but at the same time, I just feel like if Andre wants to be involved, then I shouldn't have to be the one nagging. He should just want to be involved in his son's life, so that shouldn't be on me. And Glade's like, I understand, Sienna, and I totally agree, but it's important. This is for Zari, so I think that you should call Andre up tomorrow and see if, you know, he might want to spend New Year's Eve with his son. And Sienna's like, fine, I'll give him a call, but if he says no, I am not trying to force him into it. So she's gonna go over here and actually have she has to take the dogs out for a walk. We'll have her do that in a minute. But, oh, where'd Zari go? He was over here watching TV. Let's find Zari. And she's gonna, oh, that's so sweet. Zari's over here helping out. I'm gonna let him go ahead and put the laundry away, and then I'm gonna have Sienna have a little conversation with him. So Sienna wants to go ahead and ease into this conversation with Zari because she already knows that, like, look, Zari pretty much barely knows his dad, and you know, him and I don't have the best rapport when it comes to us talking about serious things. I don't know how he's going to take this from me, so I'm just going to start out soft. So she's like, you know, Zari, how has your day been? And Zari says, you know, it's been pretty great, Mom. You know, what's going on? What, did you want to talk about something? And Sienna says, well, honestly, I've been thinking about it, and I think it might be a good idea for you to spend this weekend with your dad. Like, what do you think? Zari feels just a bit blindsided. He's like, Mom, like, I don't, why am I going to Dad's house? Like, I barely see him. Why do you want me to spend time with him? So Sienna says, like, look, Zari, I get it, and, you know, your dad should really do better. And Zari says, like, I mean, do you, Mom? I mean, do you really get the fact that Dad's never really around? I mean, he sends money and, you know, cards sometimes, but I don't ever see him like that. Sienna says, Zari, I know, like, I get it. Your dad should do better. He's not been stepping up, but that's part of the reason why I think this is a good idea. Listen, I'm your mom. I know what's best for you, and I think you need to spend more time and get to know your dad, and maybe that'll help him be there more often. Zari just does not understand. He's really just uncomfortable with the whole idea, and he's really upset at Sienna for even suggesting this. He's like, I mean, who are you to try and force this whole relationship with my dad who's never around? I don't really feel like getting to know him. I made it this far without him. I don't think I really need him. Like, I don't understand. Like, if you're so intent on me not being here this weekend, why don't I just spend time with Grandpa? You know, I'd much rather spend the weekend with Grandpa. Sienna's really not in the mood for Zari to be throwing a tantrum like this. She's not used to having to deal with Zari solo since Glade's been super hands-on with Zari since the minute he was born, pretty much, and honestly, this is the first real weekend that it's just been the two of them, and she's not here for the tantrums, the arguments, and all of this. She's like, ugh, like, I really do wish I could send you to Dad to set you straight because I can't deal with this right now. But she's like, you know what, Zari, your grandpa and I are on the same page about this. He thinks that you should spend time with your dad too, so I don't care what you say. This weekend, you're going to spend time with your dad. He's coming to pick you up this afternoon, and you're just going to have to get with the program and accept this. Do you understand? He's like, whatever, I'm calling Grandpa, and, you know, if Granddad is, you know, on board with me coming over there, I'm going to go there and you can't stop me. And Zina's like, okay, you can go ahead and try, but I'm pretty sure my dad is going to say exactly what I just told you, and that's that you're spending time with your dad, so just accept this. Zari says, fine, I'm going to call Granddad and see what he has to say. I'm pretty sure Granddad would much rather spend New Year's with me than for him to see me go off to my dad who never wants to spend time with me. So, you know, you can just live with that. So Sienna's like, whatever, Zari, you do what you have to do. So Zari came to the back porch area because he just needed a minute to cool off and be away from his mom, and he wanted to go ahead and call his grandfather, Glade, to see if he can come and spend New Year's with him, because he's just not down with this whole idea that Sienna set up of him spending New Year's and the weekend with Andre, his dad, who's just not been around. So he's gonna go ahead and dial up Glade. He's getting them on the phone right now. He's like, Granddad, it's me, Zari, how are you? And of course, Glade is always happy to hear from his grandbaby. He's like, hi, Zari, what's going on? He's like, Mom told me that I have to spend the weekend with Dad, and I don't want to. Can I come over there? And Glade's like, look, buddy, as much as I would love to have you over for New Year's, you know I love having you around, I actually am in agreement with your mother. I think you need to spend time with your father. I think spending this weekend with him will be good for you. And Zari's like, I don't understand, Granddad. You don't love me anymore? You don't want me around? And Glade's like, of course not, baby. You know, your grandmother and I love you dearly, but at the same time, I think that you haven't spent enough time with your dad, and if you don't start forging that relationship right now, I just feel strongly that you might regret it, and it might be bad for you. And Zari's just not trying to hear that. He's like, Granddad, I don't understand. Dad's never been in my life, and you have been. You're pretty much my dad over my real dad. I'd rather spend New Year's with you. And Glade's like, Zari, I understand, and I definitely am open to having you come over next weekend. We can spend the whole weekend together, but this weekend, trust me, baby boy, I think that you spending some time with your dad will be good. So Zari's like, whatever, Grandpa, like, I thought you would be on my side, but now you're making me go see my dad like my mom, my stupid mom, so whatever, I hate you. So he's about to just hang up on the phone on Glade and just be over it, because, you know, this is not what he wanted to hear. He wanted to spend time with Glade over his dad, and Glade is just not about it. He's like, you know, I know you're frustrated and you're angry, but you'll appreciate this one day. But Zari is just really mad. So he's, you know, I hate you, Grandpa. You know, the way kids are a lot of times when they don't get their way, they say harsh words like, I hate you, or I don't love you. And Zari's in that mood right now. He's like, you know what, Grandpa, you and I are supposed to be best friends, and that you don't want to spend time with me on New Year's. He's just really hurt. He actually has a hurt sentiment with Sienna right now because of how she kind of held him to task about spending the weekend with Andre, but him and Sienna don't have that great relationship anyway, so he's kind of, you know, okay with being mad at her right now, whereas right now he's just kind of really sad and hurt by the fact that Glade did not want to spend New Year's with him, but I'm pretty sure he will be okay. He's gonna get ready and get his bags packed, and Sienna's gonna go ahead now and give Andre a call to send Zari over there to spend the holidays with him. So Sienna did go ahead and give Andre a call, and it wasn't the most pleasant conversation. He was kind of really put off by the fact that she was bugging him to spend the New Year with his son. He's like, you know, I send you money every week, Sienna, to help support Zareen. I don't understand why suddenly you're giving me a call and forcing this whole thing. And Sienna's like, you should want to spend time with your son. Like, sending money is not the whole parenting deal. Parenting is more than just putting money in a bank account. You have to spend time and develop a relationship with your son. Like, I cannot believe I'm having to do this. And so he reluctantly, you know, came over. He's like, fine, and just threw his hands up and it's like, fine, I'll be over there in a couple minutes to pick him up. I guess we could spend time together, whatever. But, you know, it's not the best. She came out here to wait on the little porch swing, although it's not on the porch, but, you know, We're gonna ignore that. But he came over, and this is Andre. I know it's been a little bit since the last time you guys saw Andre. His hair is grown out. He's got some facial hair now. He looks a little bit older. He is an adult now. As you guys remember, Andre's always been older than Sienna. But this is Andre. As you can see, he looks very pissed off. He's like, I don't know why she's pressing me for this, to do this right now. You know, I should be able to decide on my own time when I spend time with my son. I don't need her calling my phone, blowing my phone up about this. So that is Andre. And so Sienna's like, I'm just glad he came to come get him, even though he was being such a nightmare on the phone about doing this. But he needs to spend time with his son. He's never around. He just sent a check. He barely ever calls him. He never shows up for him, so he needs to show up for him. So she's got like this smile of satisfaction, like, yeah, you better show up and spend time with your son. You're being a horrible dad. You need to be there for your kid. So he's gonna come and he's gonna go get Zari right now. So now that Sienna is child free for a weekend, she is up to her own devices and she is texting somebody. So if you guys remember from 2 episodes ago at this point, when Sienna went to her brother Robin's wedding, she had met the incomparable Ezra Quinn. And if you remember from that episode, she told him, you know, since we don't live near each other, you know, I don't know, you know, if anything can happen between us, but, you know, sure, keep my number in your phone. We can, you know, stay friends. And they have done just that. Since she left Mount Komorebi from that wedding, Ezra's pretty much texted her and called her daily, sending her little, you know, messages like, how are you? Good morning, beautiful. You know, the jazz. And they just been keeping in good contact. And to be honest, Sienna's just really appreciated having somebody that she can just, you know, talk to. She has, when it comes to especially the opposite sex, has really not had a stable relationship where it was just easy breezy, conversational, just even keeled like that. Everything's always been about, you know, how much she can get, or, you know, is this person going to be my boyfriend? Where, you know, are we going romantically? That's always just been the type of rapport she's had with males in her life. And so it's just kind of nice for her to have someone to talk to. Not to mention, to be honest, you know, since Candace moved to Mount Komorebi with Robin, she hasn't had a whole lot of stable, like, friendships. She really has to rebuild her social life, because she used to have so many friends, and, you know, when she was in high school and even, like, university, she talked to a lot of people about she was really just kind of being poly in uni, not really friends with people, and she kind of doesn't have as close ties with her friends like that. She still feels a bit awkward with Julian, even though they're supposed to be best friends. She is friends with Julian's twin sister Madeline, but she feels weird about talking to her because of the weirdness between her and Julian. So, and, you know, and Candace is in Mount Komorebi, she can still call her, but they can't hang out the way they used to. So it's just been nice having Ezra to talk to, and it's been nice having someone check in on her and see how she is and just, like, talk to her like she matters. So she's talking to him. She's like, yeah, you know, my son's spending the weekend with his dad. You know, I don't really have any plans for New Year's Eve. And he's like, what do you mean? What? You can't just stay in for New Year's. That's boring. Like, you should be getting out there and mixing it up. So he's like, you know what, call me. So she's like, okay, let me call you. And he's like, Sienna, beautiful, you know you cannot just sit your beautiful little self at the house staring at walls when it's New Year's. And she's like, come on, like, stop. It's not like I have anyone to go out with. She's like, you know, I'm not dating anybody. You know, all my friends are busy. I don't really have anything. I mean, honestly, my mom called me not too long ago asking me if I want to go out. Like, that's where I am right now. My mom wants to go partying with me. And yes, Miss Nora did call her, asking her if she wanted to go to the club, and I had to cancel that because that's really kind of sad going out. I mean, maybe it's not for everybody, but just a little bit going out with your, you know, elder mother to the club on New Year's. I don't know, the bar is kind of low on that one. So he's like, look, you know, when you told me you had no plans for New Year's, I did some, internet searching around to see what's mixing up in your area. And you should really go to the Stargazer Lounge. That's like the good place to go to for New Year's, I've read. So you should head on over there and, mix up and see what's what. I'm sure you'll have a fun time celebrating New Year's and counting down at the Stargazers Lounge. And Sienna's all like, I don't know. I last time I went to Stargazers Lounge was for my prom, and that was kind of not the best event. But Ezra assured her, he's all like, Sienna, just trust me on this one. Promise me you'll go and have a good time. And she's like, okay, Ezra, if you say so, I'll try it out. But, I'll call you, tonight, when I'm there, if it's not going so great. And he's like, of course, go ahead and do that, but I want you to have fun. It's New Year's Eve. And she's like, I'll try, but I might just end up staying home after all. He's like, please do not do that. Just please go out. And she's like, okay, fine, I will stay for as long as I can, but, I may leave early and go home and sleep or whatever. I'm kid free this weekend. And he's like, okay, but just give it at least an hour. And she's like, okay, I will. So Miss Sienna is going to be going out for New Year's Eve to the Stargazers Lounge, which she hasn't been to since, prom. So she's like, man, I hope that this is not going to be a mess like it was for prom, because, I want to have good memories and not be perpetuating bad memories from my past. So I'll try this out and see how it goes, but I make no promises. So we're gonna let her relax for the time being, but once it starts to get a little bit late, I'm gonna have her head out and go to the Stargazers Lounge. Miss Sienna made it to the Stargazers Lounge. She got herself some punch, and she's really just trying to get into the mood of New Year's, but she's kind of still not really feeling it. She's like, this is really giving me vibes of when we had prom here, and I don't know, maybe I'll just stick it out another 20-30 minutes, and then I'll head home and get into my PJs and call it a night early. It will be nice to kind of just have the house to myself while Zari is away. So, I know I promised Ezra I would give the Stargazers Lounge a chance, but I just, this is just not it. As always, there is still not a DJ at this place. I do not know why, but she's like, I guess I could sit over here and, worst case scenario, I can watch the ball drop with all these people, but I'm just not feeling it. She's just not in a party mood. She just isn't. But she's drinking her punch. She's like, I'll give it some time, I guess. I'm probably just gonna give this a couple more minutes and then I'll leave. I'll just tell Ezra that I tried, but I'm kind of over this whole thing. And as she is sitting here, she looks across the way and she's like, is that? No way, my eyes are deceiving me. Is that? And right across the way in her eyesight, she sees a Mr. Ezra Quinn. And she's like, Ezra. She's like, is that Ezra? Is that you? What are you doing here? What? He's like, hi, Sienna. A fancy meeting a beautiful girl like you here. And she's all like, look, you're kidding me. What is going on, Ezra? Why are you here? The last time, we spoke, you were still on location at Mount Comerary with your photography assignment. He's like, what I said the last time, you were at Mount Como. I'm a freelance photographer and I go where the work is. And it just so happened that a gig turned up in San Myshuno, which a little birdie told me is not too far away from Newcrest. So I kind of jumped at the chance of taking on this assignment. So Sienna's like, so this whole plan of you having me go to the Stargazers Lounge tonight, he's like, yes, a rose for a rose. And she's like, stop it. She's like, so you planned this whole thing. You wanted me to come here tonight because you knew you were going to be here too. Is that right? And Ezra's like, well, I do like to plan ahead and, keep things that I want to happen in the loop. I like to plan ahead. I like to make sure that I have what I want to happen the way I needed to. And so when I took on this assignment in San Myshuno, the first thing I thought about was meeting up with you, and I just thought on New Year's Eve would be the perfect time to meet up and hang out. You're not mad at me for, keeping it secret and, kind of fibbing a little bit about, my whereabouts tonight. And she's like, look, Ezra, I'm not mad at you. Of course not. This is like a great surprise. She's like, I just can't believe you're here. That's crazy. And she's like, how long are you going to be in town? And he's like, well, you know how these photography assignments are. I don't really know right away how long they're going to be, but I'm going to be here for at least a couple of weeks. So hopefully you and I get to, see a whole lot more of each other while I'm here. Last time I checked, there was a rain check on that coffee I asked you for at Mount Komarebi. Is there any chance after tonight that we might be able to make good on that? And Sienna's like, well, I don't know. We'll see how this night goes. So, Sienna's kind of like a little bit flirty. She's a little bit blushy. She's like, oh, I cannot believe that Ezra just, surprised me like this. This is crazy. And he's like, you look great tonight, by the way. And, oh my gosh, look at Sienna. She autonomously did that. She just got in the mood and she's like, well, it's still the holidays and I had some mistletoe on me. Should we? And he's like, I'm not gonna say no. I can't believe she's having her first kiss with Ezra like this. This is crazy. And Ezra is just caught off guard because Ezra's like a little gentleman. He's been keen on taking things slow with Sienna just because she's kind of let on that she, has been hurt in the past and, was kind of getting over something. So he's not ever wanting to be presumptuous about where he wants to take things. He's willing to take things where, she wants to take things. And so her pulling out that mistletoe and giving him this mistletoe kiss was a surprise to him. He's like, oh my gosh, like, I wasn't expecting to get a kiss tonight, but of course I would never turn it down from you, Sienna. It's, this is great. So Ezra's like, Sienna, it's New Year's, I would really love to dance with you tonight. Would you be interested in dancing with me? And Sienna's like, of course, Ezra. So they are slow dancing during the New Year, and it's just kind of perfect, even though there's still no music at this venue. I feel like this place is broken. It's okay. We will add the music in post now, won't we? She's like, Ezra, I'm so thankful that you convinced me to come out tonight for New Year's. I feel like I wouldn't have had a good New Year's if it wasn't for you. Convinced me to come out here and you surprised me like this. Nobody's ever done anything like this for me before. Surprised me in this way before. And he's like, this is as much a gift for me as it is for you. I really wanted to see you, so I'm kind of just really glad that the stars aligned for me to be out here and spend this time with you. And she's like, I'm glad the stars aligned for us to spend New Year's together too. Sienna really wants to commemorate tonight, so she's like, Ezra, let's take a picture together for New Year's. And he's like, sure, why not? Let's do it. Oh, this is a cute picture of them. I meant to take a picture of them at the wedding and completely forgot, so it's a good thing I'm remembering to do this now. At New Year's, we'll take some shots. And Ezra's like, yeah, go ahead and take the picture. Make sure and send me a copy because I want one of the both of us too. So like this broken venue be doing, the DJ did not show up, but it's a good thing I remembered that with the DJ booth you can just play music from it. So I turned on some hip hop so they could dance on the dance floor together. Wish I had remembered to do this during prom, but you live and you learn. So Miss Sienna and Ezra are dancing. Look at them go. They're so cute. I love it. But they're gonna dance and get their life right before the countdown happens. I think we've got a couple minutes before, oh my gosh, look at this. Hold on, I gotta get a screenshot. Okay, so y'all know how in The Sims you can't ever dance together unless you use mods. And I don't have the passionate romance mod in that lets you like grind dance together right now, but like it's almost like Ezra walked behind her so that she could grind up on him. That's so don't you love it when your Sims do stuff that just works in your favor? But look at this, look at them. He's over here trying to have Miss Sienna dance up on him. We love to see it. So it is officially a New Year's. Ezra and Sienna danced their lives away on the dance floor until the clock struck midnight. So Ezra wanted to take Sienna aside and say, Sienna, I am really thankful that I met you all the way in Mount Komorebi. It really was fate that your brother hired me for his wedding and I could run into you, because it just seems like ever since I met you, all I can really think about is wanting to talk about you, or all I can really think about is wanting to talk to you every day and get to know more and more about you. And I'm just so thankful, and I feel so lucky that we got to spend New Year's together. And Zari gives her a hug. He's like, I just really care about you. You're a really special girl. And she's like, Ezra, like, wow, that really means a lot that you feel that way about me. I feel really thankful that we met, you know, back in Mount Komorebi too. I feel like you've really helped me through this patch in my life where it just feels like things kind of shut down a little for me, losing friendships, you know, getting out of a rough relationship, and it's just been really great having you. And Ezra's like, I feel exactly the same, and so I really wanted to say Happy New Year's. And so please ignore this. Like, I don't know what Andre is doing in this, like you have to laugh, but it's like, Andre, I don't even know why you're at the Stargazers Lounge right now. You're supposed to be spending time with your son. And the messed up thing is, I saw his, like, and I didn't say this before because it was irrelevant, but Andre actually married sometime off screen after Sienna left him at the altar, and now he got married to somebody. So I saw that his wife is at the Stargazers Lounge too, and he's at the Stargazers Lounge. And he has a stepdaughter, and he has a son this weekend. So who is watching those kids? Like, Andre, why are you here? And you have no room to be looking all sad. You and Sienna haven't been together in a hot minute. Like, you need to get over yourself. But anyway, Ezra was over here like, you know, Happy New Year, Sienna. I hope that you and I can continue to learn and get to know more and more about each other and grow closer. And Sienna is so caught off guard. She was not expecting him to kiss her this time. And she's like, wow, Ezra, like, Happy New Year's to you too. I really hope we get to, you know, learn more about each other and grow closer too. So this is exactly where we're going to leave it for this episode, you guys. What did you think of Sienna's New Year's bash? Were you expecting Ezra to surprise her at the Stargazers Lounge tonight? And what do you think lies in store for the both of them? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. In the next episode, we're probably going to do some career grinding, because I really just want to max out Sienna's career. She is really close to getting a promotion to level 9 in the politician career, so I'm hoping we could just bing bam boom knock both promos all out in the next episode. If not, we'll do one next episode and we'll do the last promotion and the finale. I know that Rose Jen is supposed to end with her getting married as an elder, but I'm thinking what I might do is I might just end Rose Jen by fulfilling every single requirement for this generation except for the marriage one, and then we'll just start Yellow Jen with the Rose Jen marriage or wedding ceremony. That also means I'll probably be playing a whole lot off screen, because I don't want to play Zari as a teen. Because we played Sienna as a teen, I kind of don't want to do that again for a while, so I'll just play a bunch off screen, and then we'll pick up Zari as a young adult and Rose Generation wedding, which means I'm thinking that Not So Berry will probably go on a little hiatus while I do that, which will be a nice break for me, because, I don't know, Rose Gen was a ride. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. As always, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and of course, stay dazzled. I will see you in the next one. Bye. Never be cool with the cool kids, but look who's laughing now. I'll never fit in with being proud.